Okay, we are streaming. Welcome to the folks joining us on the stream. Welcome to the October Anime Detour staff planning meeting. Thank you to those of us joining us online as well as here in person. We can go ahead and get started here. Apologize for a bit of a late start. Few technical difficulties. We have those sorted thanks to Tristan in our tech department. We don't. Well, starting with our agenda, normally we start with some position announcements. We still have reservations open. Have still been accepting positions for the video game head. We'll be moving forward on the interview process with some of those as well. Partner announcements. Do we have any announcements from the Anime Twin Cities side of things? Tristan, Anime Twin Cities Board President, turn it over to you.
Hello, everybody. Wrong switch. Thank you for joining us today. Just a couple updates for Anime Twin Cities. We don't have any big events coming up right now yet, but we do have a couple of positions open still. We have the SOS coordinator, the charities coordinator, the communities coordinator, as well as we have two now. We have 2 member-at-large positions on the board, as well as the treasurer. Nope, we currently have 3 member-at-large out of 5. So we have 2 members, so it's president, treasurer, and 5 members at large. So currently we have a president and 3 members at large, so that leaves us with 2 members at large. Secretary and treasurer are positions that are currently open. If you are interested or would like to hear more details, please email us at atcboard@animetwincities.org with any questions. Anybody here have any questions? All right.
Thank you. There are a number of other conventions that we share staff with that also have meetings today, so we have a slightly different attendance than normal. So we will move into some department announcements. Didn't receive a great number of them via email, so I can probably just pull some of the folks that are here today. If you do have some announcements that you would like to make, you are welcome for this meeting to come up here and speak out to that for the folks here in attendance, as well as to the folks that are either watching live or that will watch back later for updates. Okay.
Just for anyone who still has to use inventory or do inventory, if anyone has to do inventory yet, please just reach out to Tristan to coordinate locker access. But yeah, that's all I've got.
Thank you, Matt. I'll tell you what we can do before we move into department announcements. We do have, we do have, I mean, she's not a visitor, but we do have Kristen with us. She has been one of the newer vice chairs. So I think what we can do is we can just, since we have 3 of the 4 vice chairs present, I will hand them the mic and they can run down the list of departments that they oversee. And if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to them via email, or if you are here in person, you can come up and speak to them in person about any of their departments. But I will first turn the mic over to Brittany.
Hello, I am head of the Kyushu division. I oversee video, I oversee Exhibitor Hall, Artist Alley, Tabletop, and video gaming.
Hello, I'm Kristen. I am in charge of, we have tech, we have IT, we have programming, registration, we have guests, and then cosplay. I think that's everything.
All right, and I oversee Concom, facilities, logistics, room parties, volunteers. And there's one I'm forgetting off the top of my head. What? Reservations, that's the one.
Oh, I forgot to say, we're the Hokkaido division.
And we do have also Allie is, I'm not sure if she might be online joining us in the meeting, but Allie is our other vice chair, making up most of the executive team. Down there at the end of the table, we have Amy, our admin in the admin department. So she's one of the ones that takes care of all of our admin stuff. Let's see, so I know that we have a number of department heads here physically at the meeting. So as I said, if you have, if you want to come up and mention any of the things that you guys are working on in your department, it will help to inform the folks online that might watch this back later or are joining us live. John from Concom, did you have anything you wanted to come up and mention? Okay. How about Rakia, our co-head from cosplay? Do you have anything that you want to call out? Okay, well, you can come up and join us and just give us a brief update on what's going on in cosplay.
Hi, I'm Rakia. I'm one of the co-heads of cosplay. Our biggest update right now is we are working on cosplay judges. So we have one confirmed, one that we're talking to, and one we're waiting a response on. Yay! That's all I got.
Thank you. I see Tony from facilities. Do you have an update? Nothing from Tony from facilities. I see Christina from guests of honor. Do you have an update you'd like to provide to us? Okay.
Hi, we just announced two guests, Howard Wang and Chris Guerrero on Saturday, and Wednesday we'll be announcing our third guest to honor, so we'll be looking forward to that.
Excellent, thank you. Now I do see one of our veteran and esteemed programming staff here. I don't know if you have anything, Joe? Okay, nothing? All right, no worries. Just wanted to check. Okay, looks like going down the list here from some of the things that we did have. Tech had some things here that I can go through. Tech requests are again due by December 31st. Tech requests include but aren't limited to pipe and drape inside programming rooms, extension cords, power strips, gaff tape, internet of any kind for convention-only use, any general audiovisual related things like projectors. If we do not, if tech, that is, does not get your request before the end of the day on December 31st, it would most likely be denied. If it's received after the due date, the request must be sent to all relevant division heads in addition to the tech department for review. So if you have any questions on whether or not it is a tech request, please contact or speak with Tristan, and then make sure that you do get that in before December 31st. All of those sorts of things are funneled through the tech department. Additionally, for all department heads out there, we do have an approved Anime Detour budget for this con cycle, so thank you to the Anime Twin Cities board for that, as well as thank you to my fellow executive team members for working on that with me. So that means that if you are a department head and you have questions on your budget, please speak with your vice chair. They can get you that information, get that returned back to you. And if you do have any questions on any items on that budget, please speak with your vice chair. It's not meant to be confusing or have you left in the dark about anything. So it was something that a great number of hours went into trying to make sure that as many departments as we could, got as many requests filled as we could. So please make sure that, again, like I said, if you have absolutely any questions at all, please check with your vice chair. They will have that information and are willing to sit down and go over that sort of stuff with you. So please check on that. Let's see here. Another announcement from Tech. This year's OSHA training will be held twice in person in either February or March, and it will also be online for those that are unable to make it to either of those in-person sessions. And, okay, I'll get to that in 1 second. And as a reminder for who needs OSHA, OSHA is needed for any Anime Detour staff member who wishes to help set up on Thursday or Friday, or tear down on Sunday evening in main stage, or to otherwise enter the main stage, which is the Nicolette Ballroom, during those times. Staff who do not complete the OSHA training will not be allowed in main stage area during those times. So again, during the setup or tear down times. This applies to all staff. There cannot be any exceptions. There's trussing going up and down. There's just a lot of work in there where we really have to pay attention to those OSHA standards. So if you have any questions on that OSHA-related information, please contact Tristan in the tech department. Yes, Christina? Okay, and there was a question in the chat about when department heads would get their, let me just make sure I have the complete information here. When will we get our approved department budgets to the heads? That way we can get those out, we can have the vice chairs get those out to the department heads that they receive, that we can have them email those out to you within the next week, guys. Does that sound agreeable? Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure and check with you guys here first before I spit that out. So department heads be looking for that. And again, like I said, if you have any questions about how those numbers were gotten to, or you have any questions at all about that process, if you're at all unfamiliar with it, or if you are new, or like I said, if you have any questions, just get with your vice chair. Like I said, we want that process to be easily understood, and that you don't have lingering questions about how those numbers were achieved. We did try to have a real eye and ear on departments that needed to update, that needed to progress, especially with the 2 years off from COVID, and then a rather successful year last year, but still having responsible projections, with an eye towards this year. So working with our treasurer again, and the board, and again the executive team, wanted to make sure that those numbers fit into responsible and still being able to be progressive, giving you heads the flexibility that you were hoping for. So coming up, I guess some of the things that we have now that we've gotten through the budget process, what you will see here coming up right around before the end of the month, we will be working with all of our hotel partners in opening up those hotel blocks. So not only at the Hyatt, but at our overflow hotels as well. That'll kind of be the next big step of the process for, I guess, sort of forward-facing. I know we have a lot of bits and pieces and large pieces that we're doing behind the scenes, but that's obviously a big calling out from information that we're receiving questions on is when can I get a hotel? So that is the next thing that we're working on. I mean, we have been working on it, when we're just finalizing that in terms of the room block. So some of you department heads may be getting query about information as far as what numbers you have for prospects, about what sort of numbers you think you might need, so that we can start blocking off those areas. And then, of course, for staff, we will have that's separate information for you guys about reserving the staff rooms per usual. In towards that, the additional focus, something that we've talked about at least a few different, at least one staff meeting that I'm aware of, one or two, and I know that we've talked about at the department head meeting, is an additional focus this year is looking at staff hotel rooms in a similar fashion to how staff have been able to obtain a badge with a number of hours volunteered for the con. So if you have volunteered at other conventions, you may have seen something similar. If not, similar to our badge program. And as we had mentioned in previous discussions, making sure that both the badge program and any part of a hotel program, that those would be documented clearly, that staff would have knowledge of where the information is kept, the ability to quickly access that, review that, your expectations within that program, what's needed of you, what's needed of your department head, all the bits and pieces, so transparency there, so nobody is confused about how the process works. So we'll be looking to keep you guys involved in that process as to where we are, what sort of pieces of information we can get your feedback on, but looking to coordinate that for this cycle, as we feel that's and have received feedback that that's an important part of updating things for staff initiatives. So if you, at this point, have any feedback on that, feel free to come up and talk to us or email us about that and let us know what your thoughts are on that. That might be close to, let's see, other announcements. Yes, we talked about that. Our next meeting will be November 27th. I do have just a few more things. We do have, let me just go to my email here. We had made a post as a reminder that one of the conventions that we've started working with this year, Twin Cities Con, is still looking for a few more people willing to volunteer and help out that convention. That is the weekend of November 11th, 12th, and 13th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. And if you are interested in that, please check the ATC staff Facebook, as well as the, if you are on the Anime Detour staff email list, there was an email that went out. There is a link in there if you are interested in volunteering to staff that. A few weeks ago, there was also an email sent out that Anime Fusion was looking for staff. So if you are willing or able to help out in either one of those, please fill those out. I believe there was also an email and a post about Colossal Con, which is also in November. That is in the Wisconsin Dells at the Kalahari Resort. So there's also a link to fill out a form for those, for that con as well. So a couple of different staffing opportunities where we can help out some cons with some staffing. So if you have an interest in any of those, please take a look at those and see where you can help out. There was a question about a staff meet and greet at Anime Detour. That is something that most likely will not be able to happen at the very least this year. While that is something that we were able to do in years past, you know, there's just not an easy way to say it. It is something that was being done outside of contract. And we are now making sure that we are adhering to our contracts. And part of those contracts has to do with either number of events or the days in which we are contracting with people for the days they are doing events for us. So, and within those days, there can be schedules. So it could be panels or events not later than or earlier than, or a duration between, you know, that they would like X number of minutes in between events. The staff meet and greet was taking place on a Thursday, which is typically a travel day. That is typically not a work day for our paid contracted guests of honor. So it is not something that was being done on contract. So asking them to do that for staff would be something that would be taking the place independent of it happening on their travel day, is something that would be happening instead of a panel for our 7,000 paid attendees. We will continue to look at ways where it might perhaps be an opportunity for our guests to engage with our staff, but the way the staff meet and greet used to look is not possible with our guests of honor contracts. So we would have to continue to look at that and see how to revamp something to make that work. But as far as how it used to look, would not be something I think we would be able to replicate right now. So if there's any other questions, did you have something, Kristen? What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there used to be a different meet and greet that took place on the Thursday where the staff came to a room and the guests of honor came to a room, and it was sort of a private thing for staff, but that's how that works. So if there's any other questions here in person or in staff for any of us up here, we're willing to continue and take those, but that was essentially all of the information that we had to pass on. Outside of that, if you do think of anything outside of the meeting, please let any of us on the executive team know. If you have anything for admin, let them know. Anything for your vice chairs, let them know. Anything that you'd like the entire executive team know, please email that chairman email. Otherwise, we will close it and return everybody back to the rest of their Sunday. Anything else in chat, Tristan? Okay. All right, then thank you everybody for joining us online live or watching this back later. Thank you to everybody for joining us here in person, and we will look forward to seeing everybody next month. Thank you.